Assalamu alaikum everyone. Peace be upon you. I'm Atikur, founder of Edulight.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Peace be upon you. I'm Rakin Rabbanira, founder of Edulight.
IELTS exam, exam which bring terror in our heart. Some even become faint. But still some of us dreams to go to Europe and develop themselves through education and training. So to talk with all these points regarding IELTS and future in Europe, we are very delighted to have Thérèse Stevens with us.
She is from Ireland and she's an IELTS specialist and teaches a lot of IELTS students. She also runs a website named enlightening.com and she also runs a YouTube channel named English Gurus. She is also the author of a book named English Gurus Grammar Beginner Part 1, which is also available on Amazon. So let us not wait any time and introduce to you guys Thérèse Stevens.
Hi everyone. Hi Rakim.
Hi.
Hi. Ati. Thank you so much for having me with you today. I'm thrilled. I'm so delighted to meet you and also hopefully to meet so many people in various countries. It's a real pleasure.
We are also very happy to have you on us.
That's great. Just to introduce a little bit about me, I started off my career in Oxford. I'm half American and half Irish. I went to the United States and I worked there for about 7 years. I was helping students to pass the TOEFL and the GMAT exams so that they could study in Ivy League universities in the United States. And then in 2006, I came back to Europe. And just 2 years ago, I started the English Gurus company so that I could help students to study either in Europe or in the United States. So my dream is really to help students all over the world to really pursue their dreams and to achieve what they want to do. So I guess that's why I'm here with you today. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, I think you can start your slideshow.
Sure, great. I'm just going to open the slideshow on my side, and maybe you can see it also on your screen, I hope.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, perfect. So today we're speaking about IELTS and future prospects in Europe, how you can study, in Europe. Today I'll be speaking a bit more specifically about the UK and the Republic of Ireland, which is where I'm based at the moment. But of course, a lot of this information will pertain also to other countries in Europe, like Germany, France, maybe Scandinavia and other countries, depending on where you want to go. So the first thing really that you need to do, step one, is you need to collect your information. You need to find out, firstly, what your objectives are. So really, I cannot stress this more strongly, that setting your objectives is really, really important. So that means knowing what type of IELTS exam that you need to do, and of course the format of that exam. Then, of course, step two, you write down your goals, you write down your objectives, meaning what exactly it is that you want to study or what you want to work at. Number two, where you want to study or work. And number three, the band score that you need to achieve that objective. So it's really common sense, I suppose, but it's always really good to actually write down your goal, because when you write it down on a piece of paper or on a document, it really solidifies, what your dream is, and it's going to help you to materialize what you want to achieve. Does that make sense? Is that understandable? Yeah. Okay, great.
So that's understandable.
Okay, great. And then step three, the actual strategy to achieve your goal is to create the strategy in order to achieve your band score for IELTS. That means you need to have time to do this. Of course, you're probably working, maybe you have other studies that you're doing, you maybe have family commitments, friends, of course, hopefully. So you really kind of need to set aside time to dedicate to achieving your goal. And then step number two is use my website in order to develop your writing skills. So I offer essay correction, I'll soon be implementing an IELTS preparation course that will help so many students. And yeah, so, and there are also a lot of free stuff on my website too that you can use. And then number 3, getting your resources together. So you need the best books, you need the best websites. There's so much free stuff online. This can really, really help you. Sorry, Ricky, did you have any questions about that or any?
No,
Yeah.
until now, no questions. We are understanding everything. That's fine.
Okay, great. And I'm sure students might have questions about what types of books or, yeah, they'll probably have lots of questions about that. So the question is, I know a lot of students probably want to know what band score actually need, right? And so that's why, fact is, it really depends on the country and the university and what you want to do. So a lot of students have already researched this and they know that most undergraduate degrees and diploma courses require band score of 6.5. But if you're planning to do medical, then medical and dental courses require band score 7. So that's something interesting that, you know, medical is always kind of higher than other courses. So it really depends on the individual university you're studying at. But, you know, if your band score is a lot lower than 6.5, don't worry, because there are so many options. In order to study in the UK, you can do a foundation course at band score 4.5. That's 4.0 in all skills. For bachelor's, it kind of bumps up to 6.5. Pre-master's 5.0, and then a master's degree 6.5 and above. But again, like if your band score level is lower, there are so many options. You can do pre-sessional English courses to help you to bring up your band score level while you're in the UK. Or you can also do a diploma course that doesn't require a band score 6. So yeah, so this is really specific to the UK, not other countries that I'm talking about. Atik or Rakin, do you have any questions or concerns about that?
Yeah, actually, it's from my side. That how can we motivate ourselves to score at least IELTS 6.5 or 7, which you have already shown that that's very required for the master's degree.
Right. Yeah. So your question is, how can you achieve 6.5?
Yeah, 6.5 or 7.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a really, really big question. And I think, yeah. And I think that's really why I created the English Gurus site, so that I could help students to actually reach it. So really, most people find that writing is really what is the big challenge. That's what really kind of brings them down. So the first thing is to focus on your writing skills and, you know, have somebody to assess your writing level and have somebody give you very specific feedback on what mistakes you're making. Usually, the main reason that people don't do well in writing is simply because of the grammar. So that's where I come in. You know, I'm like a doctor. I tell people exactly what the mistake is, and then we rectify it, and we can do it really quickly. It doesn't have to take a long time. And I've helped students literally in 10 days to fix their mistakes. And, you know, and it's, yeah, and it's amazing. It's amazing how quickly it can be done, and it doesn't have to be a nightmare, you know. But however, if you are still a lowish level, like if you feel like you're still intermediate in English, you might need some English courses just to help you to kind of to get to level 5 or 6, and then we're going to work with you to bring you up to 6.5. Again, depending on the university, if we look at the top universities in the UK, you can see the band scores go way up to 7. But of course, I'm talking about the really prestigious universities like Oxford and Cambridge, the University College of London, London School of Economics and Political Science, University of Edinburgh. These are considered, especially Oxford and Cambridge, these are considered the best schools in the world. You know, so, I mean, not many people get into these schools anyway, but if that's your goal, then great. it's your goal, and you need band score 7 or 7.5 to get in there. Atik and Rakeen, do you know, are in your region, do people know about the country of Ireland, or?
Yeah, of course, everyone has heard the name of Ireland.
Yes.
Yeah, right. But I wasn't sure because it's a very small country, but we are based just to the west of the UK, and English is our native language. It's a much smaller country, but we're very welcoming. People here are really friendly, and I would say that it's very different because we have a really small population, but we're very open to welcoming people from everywhere around the world. Now, IELTS, it's not the only exam that you need in order to study here or even in the UK. There are so many other exams. You have the TOEFL exam, you have the ETAPP, which is the English test for academic and professional purposes, the Pearson exam, the first certificate, Cambridge Advanced Cambridge Proficiency, and the BEC. So just to let people know that IELTS, it's not the only option. There are so many other English exams that people do in order to come and study in Ireland, the UK, or the rest of Europe. So, yeah. So that's Ireland. Is it necessary to sit the IELTS exam? No, it's not. That's the short answer. But the reason that we promote the IELTS exam is because it is recognized by so many countries and institutions. I think there are over 10,000 organizations in 140 countries. So if you have a good score in IELTS, it just gives you more opportunity because it is more recognized. And yeah, so any questions about that, Atik or Rakeen? Or
no, not now. We are
okay.
fine. We are just understanding everything.
Okay, yeah, and just to let you know, the United States, because I know a lot of people would like to study in America, and in the US, IELTS is absolutely recognized by so many universities, but generally when I was working in the US, really we worked on TOEFL. So the TOEFL exam is usually the exam people do to study in America, in United States. In Canada, it's the IELTS is usually the recognized exam. So again, depends on the country that you want to work in or that you want to study in. Now, a lot of students have asked me, do they need to do the IELTS exam for the UK? And is there any way around it? Or is there any way to avoid IELTS? And yes, it is possible to avoid the IELTS exam. So if you are from India and you've attended in a medium school or a medium university, and if your level is very high in English already because of your education in India, this may pertain to Bangladesh as well, then many universities will accept you without the IELTS exam. But what basically happens is you're invited to an interview and you sit this interview and your level of proficiency is tested. But it really depends on the university as well. Not all universities do it. So it's only a select group of universities that does it, and they do an internal test of your English level. And that's not connected to IELTS at all. It's actually completely separate. So, and the other tests that are accepted in the UK are TOEFL, ISE, PTE, Cambridge Proficiency, and also the Duolingo English test. So even though I should really be talking about IELTS today, I just wanted to let everybody know there are other options out there. You know, you're not obliged to go with IELTS. And regarding your level in English, regarding that interview where you can avoid IELTS, it really depends on your English level. If your English is not really at a very, very high level, because they require excellent skills. That's what they put on their website, is they want excellent skills. So if it's not excellent, then you always have the option of doing pre-sessional courses before you sit that exam or before you do the IELTS exam. So check your university website to find out if they offer foundational or pre-sessional courses so that you can go ahead and continue your studies in that university. And I just, just for your information, Rakeen and Atik, I've collected a list of 10 universities in the UK that accept students without IELTS, and they do
wow,
their
that's
own,
great.
Yeah, and these guys do their own internal testing of students. The University of Warwick, Birmingham, University of Bristol, London Southbank University, Northumbria University is very well known. It has a great reputation. And so, I've just heard about that from my friends and from my colleagues that they've spoken about it. University of Bolton, Northampton, Plymouth, Portsmouth, and Aston. So hopefully that will be useful for students who, want to go straight in and just do an internal test rather than going through the whole IELTS process, Okay. So some useful links is my website, of course, english-gurus.com. For correction, I provide very, very detailed and thorough support and feedback on writing tasks 1 and 2 for IELTS, and indeed for TOEFL exams as well, for TOEFL essays, if you want to send those over. And as I said, my IELTS preparation course is coming soon. Hopefully that will help a lot of students. And also, by the way, I do offer ongoing support to any student that signs up. And by email, I'm always here for you, as a support. And then, of course, idp.com and IELTS.org are 2 other websites that have so much information and resources and practice tests.
Yes.
And it's all for free, You don't have to pay a penny.
Oh, that's great.
For this stuff.
That's great.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So that's it. I'm just going to close down the PowerPoint here. So
we can take some questions. What do you think, Rakin? We can take some questions from our comments.
Great.
Anjali Karim asked us that how can we increase our speaking skill and how to deal with it during the exam period?
Great. Anjali, I think that's a fantastic question. And I know it's a question that so many students are concerned about. And and maybe already you've got probably a good level in speaking, but you want to improve it, right? You want to make it better. And I think one of the best things you can do really is to record yourself, firstly, and then just record yourself on a microphone, on your phone or on another device, and then go back and listen to how you sound. And if you're not happy with it, then you've got to work on things. So I would recommend that you find a speaking buddy. On our Facebook group, there are loads of really nice people who you can speak to and have regular conversation with. Yeah, we've got men and women. So if you're a girl and you want a girl, there are lots of girls as well. Don't worry. Or if you prefer a boy, it's up to you. And then there's something else I wanted to recommend to Anjali.
Let us take another question. Rakin, let us take another question.
Okay. Tauhid asked us that can you give us some last minute tips for the IELTS exam?
Tauhid, some last minute tips for IELTS exam. Okay, so I understand you're going to do the IELTS exam really soon. So if that's the case, the best thing you can do is work on your writing. Make sure that your writing skills are good, because that's where you might fall down. So, get somebody, a teacher or someone, to check your mistakes and try to fix that as soon as you can before the exam. And also use original sources for reading practice. So go to the Cambridge websites and go to IDP website as well. So use original sources. Don't waste your time with other stuff, because you need the genuine material. Yeah.
Atik, on you.
So one of our viewer had asked that many of us have some issue regarding reading the text and bringing out the exact answer in reading text. Do you have any solution regarding this problem?
Yeah. Wow. Soibal, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Soibal. Yeah, that's an excellent question. And it's a problem for so many people, including myself. I have to admit, when I do a reading text, I'm like often thrown and so technical. So best thing that you can do is to use the techniques that I talk about in my reading videos, which is to really use the scan technique and skim. So when you read the question first, always go to the questions first, examine what the question is, highlight the keywords, go back to the reading text, highlight the same keywords or their synonyms in the reading, and then apply careful reading. Careful reading is where you concentrate really hard and you try to find the answer. So, but I go into a lot more detail on that in my IELTS reading videos. So please watch them, and I hope that they will help you to get the answers.
Okay, we are taking another question. That is, Shahadat Hussain asks us that the biggest challenge for us in the written exam is to maintain the correct English grammar. How can we overcome these sorts of issues?
Great. So I think that your first name is Hussein or Shahadat?
I think he is Shahadat.
Shahadat. Yeah. Thank you, Shahadat, for that really, really, really important question. In the text box here, I'm just going to write the most important grammatical problems. So that's definite article, the, and subject verb agreement, and also countable and uncountable nouns. I know the words that I'm using are very technical. You know, I'm a grammar person, so these are the words I use.
Grammar is always hard.
Yeah, it's hard for everyone, every nationality. Yeah, but in my experience, especially for people from India and Bangladesh and Pakistan as well, those are the 3 points that bring down your level. Try to work on those 3 points. If you can master those 3 things, subject, verb, agreement, articles, and nouns, then I swear to you that you will really improve your level in grammar. Yeah. You know, of course, complex sentences are also really important, but you know, this is something you can work on. There's a lot of support, a lot of videos and instruction about this everywhere. But those other 3 points, it's not easy to overcome those. But again, I can help you with that, with the essay correction. Yeah. So.
Okay, we are taking another question. Tohid has asked us again, some of the students think that after this pandemic, the scope of education has decreased in Europe. What are you going to say about it?
Right. Well, Tawhid, I just have a question. Maybe Rakeen or Atik, you can help me with this. What does he mean by the scope of education? Does that mean?
I think he's asking that after the pandemic period,
after the COVID situation, what will be that opportunity?
Oh, the opportunities. Oh, I understand exactly.
Is it decreasing? Is it decreasing the opportunities, or is it
decreasing? Or
no, absolutely not. I would say that's not true at all. In fact, I would say that right now, the pandemic, right now, I don't know if you're in confinement in your countries, but if you are, this is the perfect moment to prepare, actually, because once the confinement is over, I think things are going to speed up a lot. And I think that the opportunities to study abroad will grow. So this is your moment now to, to dedicate time to your studies so that you can be prepared, because things are going to accelerate. I mean, I've spoken to people at very high levels, like in the World Economic Forum, in banks around Europe. At the moment I teach for a big bank in France, and things are going to speed up. So I would say no. I think that you should definitely consider studying abroad. It will increase.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear for us.
Yeah. Yes.
We would like to take another last question, if you agree. Can we take another question?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Sadiq Askari asks us how to develop ideas in IELTS writing task 2.
Sadiq, thank you so much for this question. And a lot of students have come to me and they've told me, oh, I'm in the exam and I have the question. I can't think of any answers. And this is really hard. And I totally get it, because it's exactly the same for me. When I have an essay, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've been writing for years and I can't think of anything. So yeah, so basically what you can do is you can break down the topic. So if the topic, for example, is about the environment, you can break it down and speak about, if it's an advantages, disadvantages, try to develop your answers in detail. Now, I have a video specifically on this, and I'm going to, if you send me your email, I'll send it over to you so that you can see the improvisational method that I develop. And I think that's really going to help you a lot. So, any more questions?
I think there is no more questions. Okay, thanks Thérèse Stevens for giving us some time for your busy schedule. We hope that this discussion become fruitful for you guys.
And if you got any questions, feel free to knock us and we will come back to you guys.
Rakeen and Atik, thank you so much for having me. I really hope this is useful for people. And if anybody has any questions, they can contact me. Anybody who subscribes to my channel soon is going to get a free IELTS preparation guide, and they're also going to get the guide.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, and if they subscribe, they can also get a free guide to how to study in Europe. So I'll be sending that to any new subscribers who join up soon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot,
I think
everyone.
we have, okay, bye.
We are almost finished,
again.
am I right? Yeah.
Yeah, we have almost finished.
Thanks
Okay,
again. Thanks a lot for joining with us.
And stay home, stay safe.
Stay home, stay safe. Bye-bye.